So, for example, I don't know. This may reveal some weirdness about me, but let's just think. How freaky can we make it? Can we make instead of a table? Can we make a table made out of bread, or and you're eating soup from it, and you're actually eating the table or something? I don't know. And you sit on the table, and it gives a bit because it's doughy, and it's in your hands, and you can smell it, and that's the type of thing you need to, you can hear it crunching when you lean on it, and the table legs are like baguettes or something. But the more weird you can make it, the more likely you're going to remember it. And that's it. That's how it works. That's how it works. So the next thing, Katya said zucchini. Now we are talking. That's exactly it. So Katya said, so let's go to the next thing would be a television. Yeah. So next to the table you have a television set. So you need to link zucchini and the television. So how are you going to do that? Well, again, it's up to you. You're the one who needs to do that for you. It's no good. Katya, if you don't have a TV, go to the next thing, perhaps a couch. As Anshu said, get creative. You really do need to get creative, but it needs to be really weird. So, instead of a TV, and it needs to be more than I'm watching some zucchini instead of the television. Yeah, it needs to be really much more than that. The more weird you can make it, the better. I mean, really go nuts. I mean, hell, who's going to know? No one's going to know other than you, so it doesn't matter. So I don't know. What can I think of with TV and zucchini? So perhaps you're watching TV and you pick up the remote control, which is a zucchini, and you press it. I don't know. You press it and zucchini explode out of it, and it goes all over your face, and you can smell it because it's like gone over the walls, and it's made a loud bang, and you've got I don't know. Who knows? But that's the type of thing you're looking for. It needs to be that weird. The more weird, the better. Perhaps you go and turn the TV on, and I don't know. There's the buttons turn into zucchini, and it presses all the way in. I don't know. I can't tell you. So that's how the room system works. You know what's in the room, and you associate what you want to remember with what's in the room. Now, with all these systems, you need to trust yourself. Don't spend, at first, you can spend a little bit of time thinking, creating these weird and wonderful visualizations, smelling it, tasting it, feeling it on your skin. First, you can do some of that. However, once you get used to it, because these things take practice, once you get used to it, you need to trust yourself. As soon as you've imagined that you're sitting at your table made of bread, and you're eating soup from the actual table made of bread or something, you can forget about it and move on to the next one. Trust yourself, yeah, because you will remember it, and that's really stage 2. So what happens when you use the room over and over, and you associate different things to the same room? Now, the beauty of this, Koichi, that's a fantastic question, a really brilliant question. The beauty of this is it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. You say you're going to the supermarket and you've got 20 things to remember. You associate them with 20 things in the room. You go to the supermarket, you go there and you visualize your room and you get your stuff. Fantastic. Once you've used it, you will remember it if you want to, but if the next day you want to go shopping again, it'll work. It'll work, 100%. Does it work better if the visualizations are sensory experiences or simply animated? That's really the more sensory. No, sensory is the answer. Animated involves really just your eyes. So animated, fantastic. Animated and sensory, even better. Animated mummies are nicer. I have no idea what you're saying, Patrick, but it's fantastic. You just keep it up. Fabiana's typing. I'm just going to wait there before I go on to the next system. So all these things that I'm describing here, they're really quite personal to you, and they will get better with time. So it depends on the submodalities associated with the image you visualize. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So it may seem it may seem easier just to get a piece of paper and write it down. And you know, for the first time or second time, it may very well be quicker. But I promise you, in the long term, after the second time of practicing it, because it's like anything, you know, it's like anything, like riding a bike, your brain almost treats it like a muscle. When you use things in that way, and that's how many psychologists will tell you, you know, you hear people saying all the time, people who are mentally active will remain mentally active in their later years. You know, people who do crosswords, people who do things like that. If you see a still picture Fabiana has written, or a moving with bright colours or black and white, or how big the picture is in your mind. So she's written some good things there. So yes, so the reason people say that if you're more mentally active, you're going to remain so for longer, is because you're using your mind, and the connections, you know, biologically the connections are made. That's why when you first start to do something, you're slower at it. You know, when a pilot first gets on his plane and starts recording his hours in his training simulator or something, you know, he's got to remember where everything is. After a while, he knows where everything is, and you know, he does his checks, he takes off. It's second nature to him. He knows it. He doesn't remember it, and that's because those connections in the brain have been made. You do them over and over again, and they become stronger and stronger and stronger. It takes a lot of practice to use kind of associations that work better for each one. Yeah, you know, it does take. It depends how you talk about a lot of practice. I would say if you're just talking about making lists, remembering things, the more you do it, the better. But we're not talking weeks here. We're talking just to make it effective. You're probably looking at if you're looking at a shopping list or something and you want to remember 30 or 40 things, it'll only take you a couple of days for you to be confident. You'll remember it immediately. I promise you'll remember it straight away. However, for you to be quick and think, you know, apples, okay, bananas, yeah, frozen peas, yeah, you know, if you can do it, once you do it that quickly, then it's fantastic. So that's the room system. The link system. The link system is just that. It's a link, like a chain. You have your list of 10 things, for example, and you link the first one to the second one, the second one to the third one, and so on. So the idea is, as soon as you remember the first one, you're going to... What happened there? There we go. So the idea is that as soon as you remember the first one, that's going to trigger what the second one was. And the second one's going to trigger the third one, and so on. So if we go to Katya, she said zucchini and bread. So if you think of bread, again, you have to link these things in a strange and freaky way. That's really, if you can do that, you have to link them every time. Zucchini bread doesn't go with soup. Well, you know, that's a fair point. So again, you just have to link them like a chain. Now, personally, I don't like this method too much. It means that I generally have to start at the beginning. I could start at the middle, but I don't. If I start in the middle, it takes me a bit of effort to jump from one end of the chain to another. So I don't like this method too much. The favorite method I have is the peg system, which I'm going to show you a very basic version of the peg system right now. The peg system is similar to the room system, except that you don't use your room. You have your own pegs that you actually create, and they are permanent. Okay, so here are they're the three main techniques. Do we have any questions on those? The room is silent. Patrick's typing. I'm not sure if I should be surprised. And I say that with jest, as it's always a pleasure. Patrick forgot his question. Patrick, you should have linked it, made something strange out of it. DJ, thanks, thank you. How many items can people expect to remember in the room system? That's a good question. That's a good question. That's again, this is a personal thing. It depends really how often you move the things in your room. So if you've got a table with 10 things